1, 2, 3. Greetings and salutations.
The universe is just doomed.
Hello.
Hi, welcome.
It's us, Doom Generation.
It's me, Tessa.
And me, Nicole.
And we're alone.
We're journeying alone
Oh.
to the other end of the known universe.
Yes.
To talk about
The Stargate.
1994.
Yes. We're extending our
Sci-fi month.
sci-fi moment.
Yep. We're going to do all sci-fi this month.
Surprise.
It's now the month's like, this is the third one. Hopefully you guys knew that already.
I know there's only one more after this, but if you haven't gotten it by now.
So, Stargate, like...
I watch this a lot.
I did too.
Sometimes I like to just put it on because it's a movie that I like a lot and it's a movie that I could put on with my kid in the room.
True. Yeah, there's no nudity. Mm-mm. There's violence, but it's not even like bloody violence.
It's not really that bad. It's a whole lot of fabulousness, I'll tell you that fucking much.
Oh, yes. We got a few top dollar finest
Oh, my
moments.
God. I love it.
So let's talk about the cast.
Well, Kurt Russell, of course. Kurt Russell, of course.
Yet again, a Jack.
Yes,
Colonel
how
Jack
many
O'Neill.
times?
I don't know.
How many? At least two.
At least two, but I feel like it was more.
I feel like there's got to be at least one more.
And Mr. James Spader as Dr. Daniel Jackson.
And do you think that was his hair? Do you think he was already wearing a wig at that point? Or do you think like he mourns that floppy?
I never questioned that it was his hair, but knowing what his head looks like now.
That's what I'm saying.
Good question.
Well, because he always had like
to go bald? Because
he always had like the hair. You know what I'm saying?
What
like,
if he's been a Billy Zane ever since he was like a teenager? What if it's always been a wig?
He's always been bald. That would be weird. Do you remember?
Yeah, I just thought this was like Steph hair. Bald. This was adult Steph hair.
Right? Like he grew up to be he went to medical school, or not medical school. He's not that kind of doctor.
Yeah, different kind of doctor. Languages?
Linguist.
Yeah.
There you go. A cunning linguist.
Jaye Davidson as Ra. And he was born where we are now.
Right? He's round the way. And like, how did that
I don't know
happen? Like,
because
that
you
was
said
weird.
his one parent was what?
English and the other one's Ghanaian.
Ghanaian. I don't know. How do you meet?
So
in
how
California?
do they meet here and then immediately almost
leave back to England because they were here? They were like, oh no, we're going back to England.
That's why they took a look around. They're like, we're out of here.
Yep. Viveca Lindfors as Catherine Langford.
And is this not from Creep Show?
Who, that lady?
Bedelia, I want my cake, Bedelia, when she goes and gets drunk on her dad's grave. Isn't that her?
I don't know.
I feel like it is. We don't have a research assistant tonight, so
you're going to hear a lot of us asking questions that
are not going to have an answer that you're probably telling me right now. Yes, know. It is, or no, it's not. But I feel like it is. When she talks, I feel like
she definitely looked familiar to me.
I think that's her.
Okay.
I think it's her. I'm just going to say it is. It is. You know what? It was.
Little cutie Alexis Cruz.
I know.
As Skara. And I don't remember him ever saying his name.
Well, because I think they say it, but it's within the language that they're speaking. So it doesn't stand out. Mm-hmm. But yes, he was cute.
He was.
Yeah.
Millie Avatal.
As Shauri. And she was also cute.
Very cute.
What is it? Giannine Loeffler as Nabe.
Which one was
their
that?
little friend?
Oh, okay. The one that dies?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Eric Amari as Kasuf, the elder dude in the village.
No wheezing the juice.
Yes, that's right.
That guy.
No wheezing the juice.
French Stewart, even though he doesn't have a big role, just because it's French
debut.
Stewart. Lieutenant Ferretti.
And this is like before he started doing all that French Stewart shit.
So he was all like a dick in this.
He was just like a regular guy.
Yeah, he wasn't like doing that Air Force soldier guy.
That fucking.
He was squinty a little bit, but
he wasn't doing that shit. And it's funny because he plays an Earthling going to a different planet,
Right.
and then he played an
In Third
alien
Rock.
coming to,
Very
which I
true.
did watch that show.
I did too. I liked it.
It was okay. I mean, like it was.
It was one of those things that it was you could watch with your parents. Your parents would put it on.
No, it
and
was like my friends. Like we'd sit
Oh,
around,
really?
smoke bowls, and watch Third Rock.
I think
and
Chris and I rewatched it maybe like a decade ago.
I mean, it's all right. I don't know why we both
It's John
decided to take a
Lithgow.
drink.
I know
at the same time.
We're usually better at timing.
I know,
those
but
things.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm thirsty too.
We both wheezed the juice at once.
Speaking of which,
Carlos Lachu as Anubis
oh, I didn't have any of these.
and
Damon
Damon Hunsu as
Hunsu?
Horus. They
Yeah.
were the two main
Yeah.
whatever bodyguards of Ra, and that's all I have.
Yeah, I didn't have anybody after Eric Amari.
So,
We're in Egypt, 1928, Giza.
and the young girl is accompanying her father to an archaeological dig site.
They found a big surprise,
A big circle with symbols on it.
right?
What
They're
is
like,
it?
oh shit, I don't know. We don't know. It's like cover stones or something. They're speaking Swedish. Their bum is on the Swedish.
Swedish.
She finds that necklace.
And she just
Like,
yanks it off the
right?
table.
She's
This
like,
is a
yoink.
little girl.
I know. She's like, this is my daddy's dick site.
Yes, little
My
Viveca
daddy
salt.
found it.
I want it
And,
now.
Like they didn't do any of the fucking work. Like
No.
yeah, it's like he owns
Uh-huh.
maybe the fucking dig
He
site,
paid
but he
for
did
the
not
equipment
do
and the
any
labor.
of the work
No.
to
And later
uncover
she
these
says,
treasures.
I found this by
No, you fucking didn't.
You
found
stole
it
it.
on the table.
Yeah.
Come on,
Like
Catherine.
you uncovered any even dust off of it.
You didn't
It
even-
was already all
Right,
it was already all brushed off.
Right? They didn't lay it out for you. No one stopped her because they knew better. They've been shot on sight.
Totally. So present day,
Right.
this little girl is now an old woman.
Yes.
And you know it's her because she's wearing the
Right.
stolen
She's got
necklace.
the stolen artifact.
And she comes to hear Daniel Jackson speak about his theory about the pyramids.
Right, and how ancient Egyptians did not build the pyramids.
Well, who did?
Well, I don't know. Like,
Oh,
oh,
all
ba,
leave.
ba, ba, ba. Like everyone starts
Yeah,
leaving.
nobody
He's like, was there
cares.
lunch?
Yeah, I know. He's like, why did everybody
He's
leave?
got
He
that
doesn't
floppy
get it.
teenage hair.
Love it. He's adorable.
He's on the chalkboard.
His little round John Lennon glasses.
I know. He's so cute.
And she comes in. She waits. She's the only one who
Right.
doesn't bail. She listens to his thing. And then she's got somebody waiting for him outside. She's in the
She
car.
pulls him into this car and like a rainy day. Like, are these your parents? Are you your foster parents? Like, you have nobody?
Yeah, she has a file on him with like childhood photos
Well, like
and all his
these
info.
questions are weirdly leading, ma'am. Like, are you suggesting yes, I'm on my own? Are you about to kidnap
Right?
me
Or kill me?
Like, no one's gonna be looking for me? Is that the question you're asking me right now, Miss Catherine?
But she wants him to translate some ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs.
Right, that's it. You know, whatever. It's
And
cool.
she knows he has nowhere to go. You've been evicted. Your grants are run out.
Right.
You're all alone.
All you got is in them bags out there in the rain.
So I'm going to give you the opportunity to prove your theories. Gives him some tickets to...
Right, here's your travel plans. Bye.
Where was it? I don't even remember. Oh, Colorado.
Yes.
So some military men show up looking for a Colonel O'Neill at his home.
At that place that... Oh, no, before that. Never mind.
And they ask his wife if he's home. Yeah, can we talk to him? You can try.
You can try. And, like, he's going through
He's
some
in there
shit.
fondling a handgun in
Yes.
his dead son's room.
Yeah.
Which we find out later his son, right after this,
Right,
the
right.
soldiers are talking about like what's wrong
What's
with him.
his
and
problem?
His son accidentally shot himself with his gun.
Right. And he's been reactivated. So now he's got to go back to work. Like, they don't give a shit. He's done. You're done mourning. You got to go back to work.
Yep.
And they show up at this place in Colorado, like you said. And I guess this is Creek Mountain, Colorado is what it says. But this entrance was also used in war games for NORAD.
With that slut Matthew Broderick?
Yes, that's what I put here. That slut Matthew Broderick. That slut.
So Dr. Jackson arrives and he has brought his boogers.
Yes, he's got allergies from like traveling.
That will come up several
I
times.
guess they had to do something so
Yeah.
that you could I don't know.
Find a way to
riff on it later. I don't know. And here we have Richard Kind.
Yeah, Richard Kind is one of the scientists, or not scientists, but like linguists who's been trying to translate these hieroglyphs.
Right.
For 2 years they've been down here.
That's what they said. They were in there for 2 years, and they're in a deactivated nuclear silo.
And he meets the team. They show him the cover stones.
Yes.
Catherine is there.
He's never seen anything like it. No one has.
And they don't. It seems like they probably would have showed him the Stargate right away. Then
well,
the
he goes to work immediately
up
on this translation thing. He's like, who the fuck?
Yeah.
This is a bullshit translation. Who the fuck did this shit?
Yeah, he immediately starts correcting their 2-year-old translations.
Right.
Like,
He's
Richard
like,
Kind is...
He did it.
Great, thanks.
He's like, 1,000,000 years into the sky is Ra, the sun god, sealed and buried for all time. And it's not the door to heaven. It's Stargate. Oh, he said it. And it's also 10,000 years old, which is older than it's supposed to be.
Pyramids, right.
And then now
Colonel O'Neill comes in right as Jackson's asking why the military is interested in this
like
project.
what's going on here? And he was like, now all this shit's classified. Like
everything's locked down.
You can't talk about anything else.
And Catherine's like, what is going on?
Right.
And he's
So
like,
hold up.
Things have changed.
Yeah.
I'm here in case you succeed.
Oh.
Because they don't know what's on the other side of this Stargate.
Well, they don't know. They don't even know. We don't know about the Stargate necessarily just yet.
We don't know about it.
We don't. Yeah. We saw some shit, some round shit and some other round shit.
So 2 weeks later,
yes,
he still hasn't seen the gate. He's still working on the translations from just the cover stones, and he's missing this last symbol.
He doesn't know what these markings are. It doesn't have any match to any.
It's not a language.
No, he has no idea what it could be.
And he goes out of his little cave to look for coffee, and this soldier is reading a newspaper.
Right. And he looks over and he's like, oh, hold the fuck up.
Orion.
Right.
It's got the constellation Orion on the outside.
Back. And he traces it out, and that's it. That's the center cartouche. Cartouche.
You talking about cartouches
I like
already?
a cartouche. Little Stanley cartouche.
Stanley cartouches.
I like a little cartouche.
So more military show up now because he's going to give his little speech about what he found to the general and his men.
Presentation. And this motherfucker with his little mustache. General West. He's so gruff. Like he's got a fucking cop face. Like there's no reason. You need to relax, dude. These are like nerd scientists.
You don't
I
need
get
to
it.
be hardcore.
You're a general man. You're generally a man.
You're generally a man.
And a general. But calm down. Mm-hmm. All that power in that little mustache. Relax.
So Jackson explains these symbols are all constellations.
Right.
And that he explains time and space and the coordinates, and that they need 6 points for the destination and a 7th point for the point of origin.
Right. And that's when Richard Kind is like, wait a minute, though. That symbol is not on
the device.
He's like, what are you talking about?
Wes gives the okay.
He's like, well, show him. And inside the little, he's all boop. He just like hits a little, like it's right out there.
And the whiteboard, it's right behind the whiteboard.
I know, it's
he
like
was
on
just
the other
drawing
side.
on.
He was, yeah.
And
they're
so
like,
it's
oh,
out there.
Here it is.
And I'm not quite sure, even watching it again and trying to pay close attention, I don't understand the locking. Okay, the things on the outside move to lock in, right?
Yeah. Or
that's what was like, locking in the symbols.
Or it's like a rotary phone,
right?
Like you have to,
but like once it stopped on a thing, you know what I mean? Because the inside was
like
turning,
popped in and out because it like seemed like it went bop bop.
Okay,
bop,
maybe.
Bop. So I don't know. Maybe that was the
and
thing.
They immediately turn it on. So they've been fucking with this thing for 2 years.
Right. Well, she even says this is as far as we've managed to get.
And so
we don't know what the 7th symbol is.
They put the 7th symbol in, and it
they waste like no time.
No,
They're
just
like,
immediately.
Let's go.
Yep.
That's it. And he was like, that's the thing right there. Like they show him the thing, and he's like, no. Let me see a little marker.
Yep.
That's the one. The 2 little guys and the sun and the triangle, whatever. That's the point of origin.
Right.
Or whatever.
And so they lock in all the symbols, and when it connects, it lets out. This is a cool effect for 1994. It's really fucking
cool. Like
Very
I remember
Abyss.
watching this. Oh, The Abyss.
Yeah,
that's a good fucking movie.
One.
We should do that eventually. I watched that a lot. But this too, like this water,
like a jet of
like
a whirlpool kind of comes
like
out and then sucks back in the back like a funnel.
Yeah.
And then it just becomes like this tranquil vertical pool.
Yeah, it's real quiet, whatever. They're like, send in the probe.
Yes, and they send this robot probe in with a camera. And it goes through just fine. It sends back some pictures.
Right, and it starts moving on its own, the little map thing, the galaxy map.
Yes, it's moving all across the galaxy.
Right, and it's on the other side of the known galaxy, the
universe.
Callium galaxy. And they're like, oh, here's the other side. You can see there's a gate.
Right. The probe gets some photos of the other side.
Right. It's like it's kind of the same, but the little symbols are different. And
but it takes atmospheric
right, everything
readings
matches.
and they can go there. It's
Yeah.
it's set for humans. The oxygen's good. It's good to go.
Right.
But they're like, the general's like, but we can't go because the symbols are different on the other side.
Right. He's like, well, I can.
Jackson's
like, well, I could do it. He's like, well, are you sure? He's like, well, I'm positive I could do it.
So
like,
they
whatever.
invite
Which
him
foolish.
along. I know. Well, he's a scientist.
I know he
He
wasn't
got
thinking
nothing like she said. That's why she knew.
Well,
That's why
but
she
he
was
wasn't
asking.
also thinking like, oh yeah, I could do it, but like.
You can do it because you had the cover stones like presented
Like
to
there's
you.
you weren't thinking any further beyond that. You were thinking, yeah, I probably can. But he wasn't thinking about getting back.
No.
Eventually. I've been mad as fuck at him too.
Catherine gives him her necklace that she found by the gate as
That
a
she
kid.
stole
Off a table, some would say.
and another culture's artifact from their very own soil.
So they pack up, they get ready to venture across the galaxy.
Right. He was like, we're going. Like, you have to come with us. You're going with the military because you're the one that can translate this shit. So it's you and the military. So
And all Jackson brings is a suitcase of books and some more mocos.
Yes. He's traveling
every
again.
He's even allergic
to
space.
travel.
Yes.
So, I almost said Kirk Douglas. Why?
Because Colonel O'Neill and Kurt Russell.
I know. It gave me a lot. So he goes in first. Adios. The military goes in, and then here comes Jackson, and he puts his face.
He does a little splashy splash.
Yeah,
puts his
like a
hands
little,
in.
whatever. He's a scientist. He wants to know what all the shit is. He puts his face in, and it's like wet, and then woo,
just sucks him down the rainbow galaxy from Mario Kart.
Yeah, the Rainbow Road.
Rainbow Road, yeah.
It like goes it's like a light speed, like it does that star thing, and then it's like I don't know.
And so it doesn't show what
cool.
you see on the screen. They molecularly deconstruct, so there's no body. It's like their molecules are going through this
It's
thing.
like the Fly. Like I wouldn't want to do this shit. I don't want to do anything.
Or it's like Mike TV. What if they were tiny on the other side and they just didn't know it? What if all those people were super tiny and they couldn't tell? Because they were all super tiny.
It was to scale.
They were all like 1/16 model of Earth.
They were like a train enthusiast size.
Yep. It's like, this is easier
That'd
to
be
handle.
weird.
It's
That'd
too
be
mini.
weird. That'd be weird.
So they get over there.
They get
their
over there.
bearings. They're all like, the military guys are already up and fucking
like
separating into
woo,
teams.
What a ride. Shit was wild. So now they're like, okay, well, do the shit.
Yeah, they're in the desert. They go outside. It looks like the old Egyptian desert. They're in like a temple in front of a pyramid.
And Jackson's like, well, we got to look around.
And so they go walk out and turn around and see, oh, fuck, there's a pyramid and 3 moons.
Yes. And he's like, well, there's nothing written on anything. I assumed.
Because the colonel starts talking about, we're going to be back within the hour. And Jackson's like,
no, we got to look. He's like, we found the thing buried by.
Yeah, it's got to be somewhere
so
close.
it's got to be close by. Like there has to be something. We need to find the other civilizations. He's like, well, so are you like not going to translate this shit? And he's like, well, I can't right now.
And of course they are pissed. They start bullying
they're like,
him
you
immediately.
said.
Yeah.
Well, you should have. Come on.
I mean, you should have explained. I can translate it if I can find the cover stones on the other side.
I guess the military doesn't really have a choice. Like they're going regardless.
They're on
as long
orders.
As
they can get over there, they're sending somebody.
Right. They're on orders. It's not like a thing.
So, and why do they establish camp outside this temple in the sand?
It seems like it would be better to have it indoors or at least nearby.
And to where your Stargate is. You want to guard that thing.
Right.
Now that it's
Anybody
like,
going in and out?
I mean, they can't open it, but you don't know if someone else can.
Right, like you don't know what's happening in there while you're camping out in the sand.
And when they're bullying him, and Peretti throws his bag with all his books, like, okay, because that's gonna help. The books that are gonna help him translate these symbols, you just tossed all over the fucking desert.
Good job. Good job, French.
Way to go, French.
French.
So Jackson's over there eating alone, and he discovers this weird animal.
Yeah, and he's like,
Did you look up and see, was that like an animal in a costume?
Clydesdale.
Oh, it's a Clydesdale. That makes sense.
In like there
big
was
old
also
costume.
dogs that they had costumes on, I guess, to make like the animals
Okay.
or whatever. But the only one you really notice is the one that's because you could see it running. It does like
It does a horse. It looks like a horse.
It does
and
the
it's running.
horse
It does
thing.
the horse thing. So he approaches it because it has like reins, like a
right.
harness
He's like,
on
it's
it.
domesticated. It has a harness,
And he feeds it his candy bar. But then it gets spooked.
which is foolish because you don't know. Like that
could
could
have just killed that
It'll
thing.
be like fucking. Oh God, what's that fucking movie where Harlan Williams, my boyfriend, kills the horse?
That's not the space one, right? That's not the Rocket
that's
Man
the one with Dave Chappelle.
Harlan Williams.
The fuck is
kills
it called?
The horse. Shit.
Not How High.
Oh, no,
Not Dazed and Confused.
Half Baked.
There you go.
Yes,
That's the one. He
Half-Baked.
killed
Yes,
buttered stuff.
that's right. He
He
killed
could
the
kill
police
buttered
horse.
stuff. He could go to prison as a cop killer.
I do remember
He doesn't
that
know.
now. And so he gets spooked because O'Neill comes over and sees him like, hey, you shouldn't be fucking with that animal.
Right, like,
and then,
He's
bam.
like, maybe you shouldn't feed it. And he takes off and he gets caught up in the reins or whatever and
Gets
dragged all over
through
the
the
fucking desert. Yeah, good idea.
So the soldiers chase him, find him, finally with the animal, just licking the crap out of his face with its slimy tongue.
Icknast.
And they wake him up, and they spot these people nearby.
Right.
There's
They
like
see like a mine.
a mine
or whatever. Yeah.
some sort of thing, like it looks like slaves in a mine.
I mean, that's what it looks like.
So they approach the people, and they tell Jackson to try to talk to them, and he's like,
I don't know what the...
they're like, you're
whatever.
the linguist, bro.
Yeah, so he goes over there and they see the medallion and it's like, oh
and
shit.
they all start bowing.
Right. And he's like, what the hell did you say to him? And he's like, nothing. I didn't say shit.
And
so
O'Neill goes up to Skara to tell him it's okay and like shakes his hand, and he just freaks
right.
out.
He's
and
like, oh
runs
fuck
off.
no. Yeah. Like
He runs and gets his dad.
right. And the other soldiers are like checking the
Doing readings of
readings
the elements
of whatever,
that they're
like
mining.
what all the stuff is. And then they bring out like the ladies with water.
So yeah, the Skara brings back the people. He brings back his dad. Is it Kasuf?
Kasuf, yeah, or something like that.
And he approaches
the
them and
elder.
starts speaking in another language, and they don't understand each other, but they bring like bowls of, I don't know, water, soup,
I'm
broth,
guessing,
I
or
don't know.
something that they give them. They all get a drink.
And Jackson gives him a Fifth Avenue candy bar.
Oh my God. And it's a good thing.
Money way. Money way.
It's a good thing that he had like
An offering.
a chocolate bar Jones instead of a flaming hot Jones. Like I would have been fucked if I would have shared my like flaming hot Doritos with an ancient civilization.
And they're like,
they would have thought I was there to
witch!
kill them.
I know.
Like my snacks are deadly.
So he, Kasuf invites them like by body
Right.
language.
He's inviting us. He's like, how do you know? He's like, because
He's doing that with his
he's
hands.
doing the thing where you're like inviting someone to go.
And they get the readings back on that material, and it's the same material that makes up the Stargate.
Right. So we
is
need
what
to
they're
look
mining.
around.
So
They're
they
like,
gotta
we gotta
stay.
go.
And then like the whole slave crew,
Yeah.
like a 5-mile long line of people,
Yes, they go
walks back to the house or whatever,
it's like
their city.
all through,
It's
like
long.
instead of a straight line. Like I don't know
It's all
what the deal
curvy.
with that was.
I don't know.
Is that better? It seems like it's longer
I don't know.
to weave through the desert.
And Skara and his little friends are following behind, and the little friends steal Jackson's booger rag.
Yeah, oh, come
And
on.
Skara gives it back.
Surely you have sneezes on this planet.
And this girl, and now is she supposed to be Skara's sister, or she's just a girl?
She's just a girl
in the world.
I want to know how old she is, first of all, and I want to know how old the doc is supposed to be.
You don't know because she doesn't speak his language.
But she's also human.
Well, but she gets offered to him as his bride, so she was old enough in their
He's like,
community
well,
to
it's
be
the local
offered up.
customs. If she's 15, she's 15.
That's the local custom.
He's going all Luc Besson on this shit.
And she's giving him eyes on this walk
Right.
back.
She's like, hi.
So they get back and unveil this huge version of the necklace that Jackson's wearing, the Eye of Ra.
Right. And everybody kneels again and like,
They
oh,
think
this is
the gods sent them here.
right.
And then a horn goes off and everyone scrambles.
Right. They're like, oh shit. What
And
the fuck?
base camp's trying to call meanwhile because they're in like this severe sudden thunderstorm,
big ol'
sandstorm. Haboob.
A haboob.
And sand typhoon, fucking
Whatever,
out,
yeah,
you know,
like
whatever.
it's
They
coming-
hide in the temple.
Right.
But
And
the
is
people
that
in the city just lock it down.
Well, yeah, then they have like haboob
party.
parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? It's like Ewoks.
Well, and I think they know when that
Well,
storm
yeah, I'm
happens,
sure.
Ra's coming.
That's what my next question was. I was that like, is it just a thing that happens or a thing that happens only when Ra shows up?
I'm sure there's sandstorms
Oh.
other times, but there's always a sandstorm, like a
Maybe.
huge sandstorm when Ra
Right.
comes.
Like it's a different kind, like the kind you
Maybe.
have to lock the gates for, maybe.
Lock the gates.
Lock the gates.
So yeah, they're hiding inside the temple, but the other dudes are having a party. They get served up some weird armadillo dinosaur creature.
Right, he was like, I don't think we should eat anything. And he's like, well, they might be offended. And then they bring him a roasted lizard thing.
And Jackson tries it and he likes it. It tastes
He's like,
chicken.
oh, it tastes like chicken. You know, chicken. They don't know what chicken
You haven't seen a chicken around here. Why would they know this?
Served a roasted lizard.
Why would you say?
Why would you think there was a chicken?
Yeah, they don't know those
If
words.
they had a turkey, they'd have served it to you.
And he tries to communicate with them by writing in the sand in Rossif or Kosif or whatever. He keeps
He's like,
wiping it out.
nope. We don't do that shit here.
So writing appears to be forbidden in this land.
It's verboten.
And Kosif has some women come and take only Jackson away.
Right.
Oh, well, because he has the necklace, I guess.
Yeah,
so they
'cause
assume
he's-
those are his henchmen or something.
Right, and they brush him up and wash
Scrub
him
his
up
feet and hands and comb his hair. They don't wash his ass, though.
No, they probably should have. I don't know what kind of dust you picked up in space.
And you're about to send this young girl in to service
She don't know
him.
any better.
I bet he smells better than anybody else in that village.
Probably. I'd imagine.
Yeah, he's showered that day, probably.
Yeah, before he went to space, before he went to the other side of the galaxy.
So they leave him, and Chowdhury comes in, starts to get naked, and he's like, no.
Right,
You don't have to do this.
It's cool. Like, we don't got to do all that. I don't even know. I need to see some ID.
And she's all like shamed. She's
Right?
like, oh, rejected.
Oh, you don't want me?
And then when he tries to like let her out and her dad's waiting. So yeah, I think that's
Right,
her dad.
I guess so. He's like, what?
Like, what's the problem?
You don't want that pussy?
Come on. My
She
daughter's
does-
got the best pussy in the land.
And like the only pussy in the land, it seemed like I
there
didn't
was
see any
very few
girls.
young girls. I don't know if I saw almost any other, because the ones who washed him up were old ladies, right?
That's true, or older ladies. Like it seemed like, I mean, someone's having these babies.
Oh damn! Is she the only girl in the village?
She's the only girl in the village.
So, anyway.
Back at base camp, something has landed.
Yes.
Oh, and he does ask her when they're there by themselves alone. He's like, he's asking her. He's trying to draw.
Right, he's
again,
trying
and
to
she's
draw in
like-
the sand, and she's telling
not
him no.
looking.
But then I think she does.
She does.
eventually
She's like,
draw
okay,
something.
since
to,
they're-
like,
she looks around, they're by themselves. She's like, all right, yeah, like this and this. And he's like, okay. And
you've seen the symbol. Show me where.
right. And then we go back to base camp, and something is landing on
A big pyramid-shaped ship is landing and
on
enveloping the pyramid.
Yeah, it's like a dock.
So yeah, it's just the landing dock. So
Right.
pyramids are landing docks for big pyramid-shaped alien ships.
Well, because that's what they say, right? That like the whole ancient Egyptian thing is
Right.
like a alien
Aliens
thing.
built it.
Just because white people didn't do it didn't mean it was aliens.
And like I said, I gave kudos that, hey, at least they hired brown people to be
For the most part, I guess. I mean, I don't.
to
Well,
be
like I
the,
said,
the
that
native people of this land. anyway.
Skara and Shari
Are
or whatever
Egyptian.
I think so. They at least knew ancient Egyptian and had conversations and such on set to pass the time.
Interesting.
So they at least spoke it.
So
I don't know if they were.
Once this thing envelops the pyramids, soldiers are getting knocked out and dragged off by
Right,
some
like
unseen
you see these,
enemy.
they're like grunting at them in like some sort of language, and they're getting like bop bop with like little stun gun thingies. Like it's all this jewelry.
I know, and you finally almost see what. Well, no, you do. When French gets knocked out, it shows him
like
seeing
Anubis.
Anubis with this sweet ass helmet. What do you call it? A helmet
or whatever? Like the eyes are all
mask?
lit up. Yeah, it's like but it's like on top of their heads. It's like almost like a just for intimidation. Or do they see like the predator in there?
Oh, maybe it's got tech in there.
Maybe.
And those metal claw gloves.
Yeah, he gets all like, Kitty's got some claws.
And before we get into the rest of this, it is a good time to take a break.
I think so.
We'll be right back.
Nicole,
Tessa,
guess what?
what?
The Anchor ad is gone.
I forgot to tell you something.
You're always forgetting stuff.
Anchor turned into Spotify for podcasters.
Oh, what? So
Yeah.
they changed it.
Yeah, but all they changed was the name.
Oh, thank goodness.
You can still create, edit, and distribute your podcast from the phone or the computer.
Wait a minute, though. Is this still free?
It is still free.
And
yes. You can make money on Spotify
What?
for podcasters.
No way. They're actually going to pay you for this?
They'll give you an ad. You can get subscriptions to your podcast.
Other people will pay you too?
Can you believe that we get paid to do this?
That's silly.
And if you want to see how easy it is and make some money on the side, go to spotify.com/podcasters.
You should do it. We're doing it. You do it. Everyone should do it.
Tell them Doom Generation sent you.
Yes.
And we're back.
We're back, and little Scara has peeped in on Colonel O'Neill.
And he lets him play with his Zippo lighter.
Right, like, ooh, that's cool. And then
Fire.
lets him smoke his cigarettes.
Which he like entices him into taking a big old inhale.
Right, well,
because
he
he's
shows
mimicking him.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
And then, well, I think he did it because he was like always gonna cough his shit
He knew,
out.
yeah.
and, like,
I feel like he definitely did it on purpose to get him to choke on it so that he wouldn't want any more cigarettes.
right, and he doesn't. He's like,
And
no,
because
no,
where
thank
he
you.
gonna get him?
Right.
Don't get him addicted to nicotine on a
Seriously.
planet with no fucking liquor store.
This is a planet with no liquor store.
What are you thinking, O'Neill?
What were you thinking? There's no cigarettes cheaper here.
And this is oh my god. I worked at cigarettes cheaper. Can you tell by the hack in my voice that I managed a cigarettes cheaper when I was 18 years old? When cigarettes were $1.47.
Oh man, when you could go into your couch and get some spare change.
Yep, and for under $2 you could buy a pack
And
of
what were the
cigarettes.
ones that you could get? Oh God, what were those fucking? They were like Marlboro knockoffs, and
Is
you
it the
could
Winchesters?
no, or maybe no. There was something else that was maybe it was Winchester's.
Oh my god.
Are you dying?
I'm dying.
She died. But no, it was something else. Maybe not Winchester, not a Chesterfield, but it was something like that, and it was like $1.12.
Yeah,
I used to smoke Chesterfields.
I
Just 'cause
did.
They were Chesterfields.
they were cheap and they were Chesterfields.
Exactly, and they were kind of fun. Benson and
smoked
Hedges.
Every cigarette because of managing a cigarette store alone. So like you didn't even
You would
work
just
with
try
anybody
shit.
else, and you knew that up to 4 cartons per week could go missing on your
spoilage.
count. Yeah, for like expired or stolen or whatever. And so we had all the Nat Shermans, the rainbow Nat Shermans, the mint, all them. So I had to on party night. I told you before, I would bring a carton of cigarettes.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Or I just I'd open a pack. I remember opening a pack of them Capris because I had to know.
I had to know.
And
I've done that before. I've
It's
purchased.
like a lollipop stick.
It's
It
like
is
what do you
the
even?
smallest?
It's like you can't even hold it. Like it feels silly.
Yeah. And so I
What do you
smoked
even-
one, and then I set it on the counter. And the next person that came in to buy Capris, I was like, "Here,
Here you go. These
free
are
pack
yours.
-1.
I
You
took
can have
one
these."
out.
Yep,
You could buy the one if you want to, but here's a free pack along with it.
exactly. Buy
was
one
nice
get
of you.
almost one free.
That's nice of you. Free cancer.
I was 18. I was
Free
like, whatever.
cancer.
Don't cost me nothing.
Don't cost me a thing.
So
You showed a lot of bravery getting robbed at that place.
Oh yeah, I got robbed there too on Valentine's Day. and for some reason protected the safe.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like you should have given you whatever the fuck you wanted.
What
why
compelled me?
You're gonna take a bullet for this fucking register?
What compelled me to be like
The
I
power
don't
of
have
Christ?
I don't know what it was.
It was the power of Christ.
It was just my immediate reaction. Give me the keys to the safe. I don't have them. I had them. But I don't know why. That was just my impulse reaction.
Oppositional defiance
Well,
disorder.
it has double keys, and one key was taped behind the security gate, and one key was on your key ring, and it was almost that it was more of a hassle to explain to him
like how
the
you had to do it.
system.
Oh,
So
I get it now.
It wasn't so much that I was trying to protect the money. It was
I
like,
get it
oh, it's
now.
a whole
You're
thing.
Like, oh, it's like a fucking thing.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing to get into the safe. I'm not, and it wasn't that much money.
I know,
It
like
was like
really.
1,000 maybe.
Would you rather just take some cigarettes? You could take whatever you want off the fucking.
Want.
I don't care. I'm not gonna stop you.
Anyway,
Anyhow,
and we sold Zippos too.
Well, of course you did because it was cigarettes cheaper.
So he's having this cute little moment with Skara,
right,
Until
and then
he touches the gun.
oh no, that's dangerous.
And he scares him off.
Right.
And Shaori has taken Jackson to find their writing, which is all locked away.
There's all these hieroglyphs or whatever, and it's starting to look similar to him. And the language is starting to sound similar to him, like they're working it out.
Yeah, he's able to point to these symbols, say the word he knows for them, and she's able to, it's just a slightly different pronunciation.
Yeah, he's like, once you know the vowels, it's all good, baby.
And so, French.
Oh, I should have looked at you. Usually I see that something is about to happen and I'll start talking. So anyhow, at the pyramid, French is now being
He's getting dragged off, yeah. And they're bringing him to their boss.
Right, and he gets brought before this sarcophagus.
Yes.
And it starts to open, and we see this delicate, decorated hand. Ooh, I want these the little fingertips.
Yeah,
I like those. I will bring that back.
Bring it back.
I'm gonna bring it back
From
way
ancient
back.
Egypt.
Sure, or from '94 at least.
At least. And but before he gets to see what comes out of the sarcophagus, he gets knocked the fuck out.
He gets knocked the fuck out. Like Horse is like, nah, you can't see this shit. Knocks him out. So now, back at the town, Skara is showing the others the lighter, and he's like, "Ooh, it's always a lighter, isn't it?
Encino Man.
Always, it's always a lighter.
Fire.
Yeah, it is." And like they see the salute, and they think O'Neill's so cool.
So yeah, they're like O'Neill comes looking for Jackson, but they're just mimicking all of his hand signs, trying to explain who Jackson is.
Right, and once he does the little spectacles thing,
they're doing that back at him. No, it's not till the sneezing.
Oh, that's right.
When he starts sneezing,
they're
like, "Oh, Chicken Man!"
He's like, "Yeah, the Chicken Man. Where'd he go?" And then they find out. He's like, he takes the jacket, and then they find out that animal thing can track him. It's like a bloodhound.
So they find him talking to Shaori, and O'Neill's like, "Oh, I thought you couldn't speak their language." And he's like, "Well, I just figured it out.
Like, that's why I told you have to look around, because then you will learn if you're paying attention."
So he reads them the story on the walls about a traveler from distant stars.
That totally looks like a fucking alien in that picture. And like the hieroglyph looks like a alien being.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing. He's like, yeah, he's a traveler from distant stars. He escaped a dying world, trying to extend his life. His whole race was going extinct. And he searched the galaxies, and he found a boy who walked into the light, and he possessed him.
Yeah, like a parasite.
Right.
And he appointed himself ruler and used the Stargate to bring thousands of humans here.
Right.
As workers for the mines.
Because the mineral in the mines is what powers all of his technology. Like all of the things that he makes.
And that's what keeps him living forever.
Exactly.
And so they never do say where he came from.
No, they don't.
But I'm guessing he's like one of the last of his kind, it sounds like.
Well, that's what it sounds like. And then he says that the people on Earth, the ancient Egyptians apparently, rebelled against him, and so he took off to this.
And that's
planet.
why he outlawed reading and writing in this new world, so they wouldn't remember the truth about where they came from.
Absolutely. That's what they do. So they go into the cave. They find the tablet with the symbols, but
Yes, it's broken.
on the bottom, the seventh symbol, the
worn
same
off.
damn seventh. God,
I know, why is
damn
it always the seventh
It's always
one?
the last one. And it's worn off. It's broken down there at the bottom, but it's worn off. They don't know what it is. He's like, well,
O'Neill's like, well, fuck it. I guess we're going
right.
back.
I guess we're
We're
going
back to the temple anyway.
going back to the temple. I'm gonna have to fucking figure this shit out because
Yeah.
I don't know.
And Scar's little boy gang follows.
Yes.
And they stop as they're approaching because they see that this giant pyramid ship has landed. Mm-hmm. They lock and load.
Right. They kind of check out and see what's happening. And is this where they get taken up? They also get.
Well, they're getting attacked. So Skara and them stay outside peeking through the window, and they say
right.
Horus and Anubis attack.
Right.
And everybody, O'Neill goes to get the bomb because he's just gonna fuck it, blow it up.
That's why he decides. He's like, well, fuck it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
I guess
blow it up.
I'm gonna complete my fucking mission.
But then this sphincter opens up in the ceiling,
Not the sphincter.
and the cock ring elevator drops down,
The cockavator.
and it reveals Anubis inside.
Right.
And more
Inside the
soldiers
cock ring?
inside the cock rings, and more soldiers come.
Right. It's like a whole.
They take them to Ra.
fucking thing. They take him up there to meet Ra.
They make him kneel. And he comes in.
What?
They make him kneel
Oh,
to Ra.
I was like, I thought you said they make a meal.
They make a meal of
They
Ra.
didn't cook for him.
No, they make them kneel.
Yes,
in front
that's
of
right,
Ra.
because he's a god.
So he comes in with his children with various terrible haircuts.
Oh my god, these poor
Yeah,
kids.
these kids. Got to make sure the bridesmaids don't outshine the bride.
I mean,
he made sure them kids had
Gorgine,
fucked up
Jaye
hair.
Davidson, like, oh my
yes.
gosh, this whole like gives you face, these eyes like darting around, this vestments, these finery. And I guess the children were added to make you feel like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like it gives you cult leader. Because they like stand in front of him. Like you're not going to fucking kill children
Yep.
to get to. And I guess these are human children.
Well, everyone's human.
Oh, besides him. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, weird. But where do they get the animals? He brought the humans from Earth, but we don't got animals like that. So he
That's
just
true.
found
Did they
those on the
live there?
planet.
Did the animals were already there?
Guess. But there were no people apparently.
Huh.
Interesting.
I don't know. Maybe you got to watch the show.
Maybe. Yeah, I haven't watched the
Maybe
show.
you got to watch the show. I've never watched the show.
And so Ra tells them, you've come to destroy me.
Right.
And he has found the bomb.
And like you've progressed a lot. Like
You've-
harnessed the atom and whatever. But you shouldn't have opened that Stargate. I'm going to send this shit back.
100 times stronger.
Right. With all of our minerals, which makes it way worse. And I guess that was like the when they went like at the opening night or whatever at the premiere, and Jaye Davidson had seen this for the first time. They were like crying. He was crying, and like the director went over to apologize, like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," because he didn't know they were going to do the voice thing, and I guess also like he did not appreciate the attention that he got from Crying Game.
Yeah.
So when they asked him to do this movie, he was like, "No, I don't really want to do it."
Oh, I heard he asked for like an
For $1
unreasonable
million,
sum.
which he thought was ridiculous.
And they were like, okay,
They were like, "Okay, you can have it." And he's like, "Well, fuck.
now I got to do this movie.
Now I got to do it." But like,
The voice is great though.
yeah, well,
I
that
love
was the thing.
voice.
Like he was crying, so the director went over there to like apologize, like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like I didn't tell you." He was like, "No, you saved me because I was so worried about like I thought I tanked this performance. Like I was not happy with what I did with my voice and whatever, and having that alien voice made it so much better for me."
That's good.
Thank you. So that was like a good thing, I guess, that came out of it. And that alien voice is so cool. Like
It's very
that's what
cool.
makes it, because that was the thing, is that they had to make it alien. Like that was the thing that didn't transfer, I guess, in the first couple screenings. Was that, what are they? They're like Egyptians. Like what? I guess they're
Right.
aliens. Like they had to make it aliener.
Yes. Well, you see that they have obviously very advanced tech when they finally reveal their real faces, and that
Right,
Anubis and Horus are just dudes with like masks,
right, or
on.
whatever. But
Roz
like,
sucks into his face.
Right,
His
like,
isn't
he
just a
just
helmet.
morphs
Yeah, he
into
morphs. I called
whatever.
it his god head
oh, I love that fucking.
because that big metal
I love
King Tut head.
that fucking look. Every single look is a serve.
Yeah, for sure.
Every single one.
But O'Neill goes for one of these soldiers' blasters and starts shooting, and Jackson gets shot.
He's like, no, stop, like, stop doing the whatever.
And the kids all surround Ra like, oh, you can't shoot him. So he gets knocked out.
Right.
And Ra notices the necklace on Jackson and throws O'Neill in this water pit with the other soldiers.
Right. And then he takes Jackson to the sarcophagus.
Mm-hmm.
Because why? Because he tried to stop it? Because he had the medallion?
I don't know why he saved him. Like, why didn't he just let him die?
Yeah, well, because he needed him to prove later that he's
The real god.
a god. Well, that, or he could talk to him.
Yeah. I don't
Because they
know.
have a whole conversation.
Yeah.
Because he can actually talk to him. Maybe he wanted to keep him alive for that.
And to punish the city, he sends these ships out to like
Oh,
blast
I love
all
the
over
little
the city.
bird, little hot-
warbirds.
Oh, they're
yeah.
cool.
And Kasuf comes running out. They're coming to Weezer Juice's.
Yeah,
run!
no, not our Jews.
They blast on the city, and Scar and the boys, they get back from
Scar and the boys.
Scar and the boys. They get back and see all this damages, and Shaori's like, Ra punished us.
Right, like we shouldn't have helped the outsiders. Outlander!
And he lets her know that Daniel didn't make it.
Right, everybody thinks he's dead because he was.
And he wakes up in this sarcophagus,
Right,
healed completely.
right. He's got a little hole in his shirt, but other than that, he's fine. He was like, I was dead.
He goes and finds Ra, who's getting dressed by his child slaves.
I mean, not like the child slave part, but like, dress
Other
me in
people
my
dressing you.
vestments. I want to
Yes.
be that royale.
And he explains that he's not dead because human bodies are easier to repair.
Right, that's why I chose your kind.
And this is where he tells them he disassembled their bomb. I saw your advancements.
Do not disassemble.
And I'm going to reopen the gate and send this thing back to Earth
Right,
100
that's
times
right.
stronger.
And it's going to destroy everything.
And he wants Daniel to prove that he, Ra, is the one god by killing all of his companions in front of
Yes.
the city.
Right.
And if he refuses, he will destroy him and all who have seen him.
All who have seen
There can
you.
be only one Ra.
This face, like just
Gorgeous.
I mean, the eyes. Every single line, like the faces.
Yeah. He's serving things.
I wish, you know what? If I had a time machine, I would have Jaye Davidson and Ray Don Chong do a single white female situation.
Okay.
I feel like that would be interesting.
Single black female?
Single something female. Brian De Palma would direct. It would be weird as fuck. Kind of dirty. There would definitely be full frontal on everybody. Everybody would have it out. Anyway, that's just what I'm going to think about that later.
So everyone assembles. Ra comes out in his godhead again to address them.
Yes.
Skara and Kasuf and Shaori are all in the crowd.
Well, they're
They have a
having
plan.
an execution.
Yeah, he's going to make Jackson execute all these soldiers
Right.
to prove Ra's. I don't know how this proves Ra is God, but okay.
I don't know. Whatever. So he comes out and they're looking at him. He's looking at them. They give him the gun.
And Skara signals
He's
with the
got
Zippo.
and how do they not see?
I know. He just managed to only
And
hit
he
Jackson
was like,
in the face
hey,
with it.
I'm strapped.
I'm strapped.
I got
Let's
that thing on me.
go.
I got that thing on me.
So he turns around and blasts on Ra's men.
Right. He's like, brah. Like, why
Chaos
wouldn't he shoot
ensues.
straight for Ra?
Yes.
If you're going to shoot, you shoot for Ra.
Yes. That seems like it would lead to, I don't know, some sort of
I mean,
song
like,
or
I know
something,
he's
but-
like a scientist and not a military man. He's not
Yeah.
a tactician.
True.
But I feel like that's just a given. That's what you do.
Yeah. So yeah, chaos ensues.
Yes.
And then they get back to camp, and Colonel O'Neill wants the guns taken from the boys before
Right.
they
He's
hurt
like,
themselves.
I don't want, he's like, I don't want to send them to war.
And
They're
Kowalski's like,
kids.
they don't have anywhere to go, and we could really use some help.
Yeah. Like, we got boots on the ground. Like,
Yeah.
that's fine.
And so Jackson's like, well, why don't you tell them about the
Yeah.
fucking bomb?
Tell them about the bomb. They're like, the what?
Because O'Neill was the only one who knew. The rest of the Air Force guys had no idea.
No,
he came
they
with
didn't
this
know
bomb.
anything about any of that. They're like, well, what the fuck?
So they were just supposed to be there for an hour, and as soon as he saw there was like danger there, he was to send everyone back through the gate and blow it up.
He's like, I saw some danger, so I'm gonna blow it up. And
then Jackson tells him, well, guess what Rod did with your fucking bomb, bruh? And he was like, I'll just intercept it. I'll just intercept it.
No. What? How? Why? What?
This is a godlike alien being,
what?
O'Neill.
You're gonna,
come on.
What? No, you're not. No, you're not, April O'Neil.
So Ra's big mad.
Oh, like, whoa, mad.
They can't find these men. These kids are hiding
He's
them.
melting brains up in here. He's like,
yes. Zzz. He puts on his eyeball glove, hand buzzer,
like
power
I'm mad
glove.
about this shit. Like, yes, these eyes aglow. Mad as fuck.
Scrambling brains with this thing. And back at the camp, the boys are laughing at Jackson for something. What was it that he was doing that they're like, husbands don't do this work? Because I didn't see him doing anything.
Or cooking. I don't know what the fuck
Must
he was
have been
doing.
And he's like, husband, and Showery enters.
Oh, I didn't tell them.
I didn't tell them you rejected me. And he's like,
but now I don't want to.
And Skara closes the curtain.
Oh, we did it, y'all.
So she can pussy gleek in privacy.
Oh. That's obscene. That's obscene.
What
That's
is
not
show
pee, it's
if
gleek.
not obscene?
That's not squirt, it's gleek.
That's right.
Oh God, that picture. Is that where it comes from?
I think so. From like the base of your, like that
Is there
thing
holes?
underneath? I guess.
'Cause there's holes under there.
I guess.
Oh.
Gross, right?
That's
because I always thought when I was younger,
I've
it was
only ever done it on
just like,
accident. I just thought it was.
I've done it from yawning, pretty much, is like the only way.
Right, like just never on purpose. But when I saw that picture, which is,
it looks like there's a little hole under there.
I know there is. There's got to be like a little snaky little.
I can't make it happen.
Oh,
though.
I don't want to. Watch, I'll do it right now. Like right in your eye.
There's
gleek in your eye.
I would scream.
I would scream.
You guys would hear such a clatter. There would arise such a clatter.
You would go to the window to see what was the matter.
You would.
With Mama and her kerchief and you and your
Yep. That's exactly what would happen. So anyway, we're almost at the end of this movie.
Hold your gleeks until we're through.
So Jackson sees Skara writing symbols on this rock wall with chalk, and he's like, "Hold up, this symbol looks like something."
Hold up, what are you doing? He's like, "Oh, I'm drawing a picture of our victory." And he's like, "Wait,
this is the symbol.
This is the symbol. We found it. I know the seventh symbol. We're going home.
Oh,
we're going home."
And then Ra and his final top dollar finest.
Oh my God! I almost
got like the moon behind him.
I want it so fucking bad.
Oh.
You know how I love a
headpiece,
a headdress, a fucking shoulder pad. This is like all of the things.
All of the things combined.
Oh,
Got them. Didn't he have the metal things on his fingers again too?
Like, oh God!
And didn't he have like a metal corset at some point?
Yes. I guess they were. He refused to remove his nipple rings, so they had to like work around it.
Why?
I
that
know
fits with the character.
Yes,
I think ancient
fit.
Egypt did piercings, didn't they?
I don't know.
I feel like they did.
Sure.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
Sure. Educate us. I don't know.
I'm making it up.
I don't care.
So he's like, get the bomb ready.
Right. He's like,
they go put it in front of the gate.
He's like, well, the problem is the other side. We got to dismantle. He's like, well, you are gonna do it. I'm staying here and I'm blowing this shit up. So is he gonna blow up everybody?
Because if it has 100 times the power,
well, no, not. Well, no, I guess it would be because
that's the bomb he's got.
That mine is there,
and that's the bomb he has is the one that's on that side. That's the only way he's about to blow up the gate.
And that if that mine is on that planet and he's blowing that up anywhere near that mine with that mineral, that's gonna. So he's gonna kill everybody.
I guess.
Why though? If he just has them dismantled on the other side.
If it's dismantled on the other side, they don't. Nobody else can even open it but Ra, and then they are about to get rid of that problem.
Well, but he doesn't know
no
they're
one can
get
open
rid
it.
of that problem.
True,
though. So I guess I don't know.
So they get in they sneak in with the caravan.
Right.
That's bringing, I don't know
supplies? Why they were even,
I don't even know why there was a caravan coming exactly.
That didn't make any sense
I didn't
to me.
get that
I don't know
part.
why that they thought. Well, they were kind of on guard about it.
I didn't see what they were carrying in.
It was like bullshit in a cart. I
bullshit
don't know.
in a cart. Yep.
Bullshit in a cart. That's what it was.
So then again, everybody starts blasting.
Right.
That's like that happens a lot in this movie.
Well, what happens? Well, who sees what? Somebody sees. Oh, they start checking. They start
looking. They're
checking
pulling
and
their
seeing
hoods
if-
off
yeah,
to see who's
if
under
they're
there, and
whatever.
O'Neill's under there.
He's like, oh, hey.
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck he says.
And so again, he sends the ships out, shooting at the men that are left outside. Some of them get in, but then the door
Right.
shuts. So
They get
Jackson
stuck
and O'Neill
outside.
and some others get in, but the young
Right.
boys and Kowalski and French Stewart are all
They're all on the
still outside.
Yeah.
And Shaori is inside. No, she gets shot inside.
Inside. Yeah.
And she's dead.
Yeah, she gets shot. She's dead, but because they come down in the cock ring elevator. And like she gets blasted on, and it's like Jackson's like, oh,
The
wait,
sarcophagus.
I'll take her up to the sarcophagus, which is a good thing that she had the exact same injury because I don't think it works otherwise.
Oh, really? It has to be the. I don't know. I'm like, I feel like it knows. Because I think
I'm sure it works
Rod
for
just
everything.
gets in there to be not euthanized.
It's like Michael Jackson in a hyperbaric chamber.
Youngified. I don't know what word would you
Youngified?
use, because that's all he's doing is getting it to like heal to keep him young. Yeah, so I
To
think it
do the
just heals
Madonna
whatever
thing?
you need. Madonna
Virgin?
has one of these sarcophaguses.
Oh shit! Did she pick it up from the estate sale after this movie was done filming? Wait.
94.
Oh, was this before or after erotica?
Oh, I'm not sure. We don't have a research
No,
assistant
we don't.
to Google it.
We don't
for
know.
us.
I don't know. This has nothing to do with anything.
So yeah, so he's taking her up to the sarcophagus.
Yes, he's
Ross
like, "Wait
sees
for
him.
me."
He just walks right past him, basically.
Right? He's
He's
like,
not even being secretive.
come on. He's like, I'm tired of this shit.
And O'Neill and Anubis are like
They're
fist
fighting.
fighting to the death,
Well, because
practically.
they switch. Like Anubis comes down as they go up. They're fighting.
Yes.
He's healing. He's fighting Ra. Ra comes up like bitch and does a little eye brain.
Yeah, Ra's like
Jaw.
scrambling Jackson's brains.
Right. And then like meanwhile, O'Neill
Finally
notices
has
the
like
thing,
an
he gets him on the
idea.
ground. He's like, oh, the fucking bop bop.
Give
Let
my
me-
regards to King Tut,
asshole.
asshole.
And he does the little thing and it comes down on his face. Little cock ring comes on his face. And then it
And this stops Ra from killing Daniel because it drops Anubis's head next to him
that face like ooh.
and takes Daniel and Shaori right back down to O'Neill. Which
Yes.
they were like laid out on the floor. You're telling me all their parts were inside them cock rings?
And just that head.
And just that head is all that got cut off.
Well, he was at
cleanly?
the edge.
I don't know.
He was living on the edge.
You can help yourself from falling. And so, 2 minutes left on the bomb. It's not shutting off. O'Neill can't get it to
he
stop.
can't get it to stop.
Ra's
Which-
fucked with it.
Yeah, well, he was like somebody rigged it. Either Earth people did, in case he changed his mind, or Ra did.
And the boys outside are starting to lose faith when Kasuf shows up with the rest of the city.
Everybody's here, y'all.
You will not we's our Jews.
No, not our juice.
And Ross starts closing up shop. He's like, okay.
Nope. He's like, all right, that's it. I'm out. I'm a dip.
45 seconds on the bomb. Still can't disarm it.
Right? He like gets into like starting up the starting up the fucking pyramid, closing up the windows, close up
Roll
shop.
him up. Roll him up.
Roll up my fucking drapes.
In the
I'm
bad
fucking
neighborhood.
done. I'm out of here. Lock the doors.
And when Jackson and O'Neill hear the ship leaving, they have the same idea at the same time.
Right. They're like, I have an idea.
But then bombing them cock rings.
Yep. They send it on up as the pyramid takes off into space.
And you see like his true old man alien
Yes,
face just
and
for a
it's like-
second. And is it not like Independence Day alien?
No, but Ra gets up from the fucking controls like, what the fuck now?
Uh-huh.
What the fuck now? Comes over there like, what do you... Oh,
You
no.
did, Ra.
It's the bomb. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And he's just blasted to
Yep.
nothingness.
And yeah, it's not like the Independence Day. It's like a...
It was like
I don't know. It's kind of
bluey-
like
I don't know,
fire
just a
in the
gray.
sky-ish.
Okay, maybe fire in the sky.
It's a gray.
It's a gray, but
It's
it
what
was
you
kind of bluey.
expect.
Yeah,
Well, I think it was just blue because it was glowing with magic.
maybe. So the day is saved. Everyone cheers.
Yay! And like, did those babies die too? Like, did he take all them children?
Oh, I mean, the whole ship blew up. I would assume he took those child slaves with him. He brought them.
The child slave. Well, what were they going to do?
Yeah, he brought them with him in that ship.
That's all they know how to do.
Yeah.
There's plenty of people. Yeah.
So Scar comes and salutes O'Neill, and he has this look where, like, it's like he found a new son.
So proud.
I thought he was gonna stay for a minute.
Yeah,
because he apparently don't give a fuck about his wife.
They got some healing to do
for sure. But like at some point, I think when Jackson asks him, like, "Don't you have people that care about you?" and he makes it sound like he don't have nobody, and it's like you have a wife.
I mean, I don't know. I don't want to know what that's like. I don't want to know what that's like. I don't want to analyze it. I don't want to know what it's like.
But so Skara and his boys have all the guns, or they have guns, or they're going to be the new soldiers.
Yeah, they're going to be the soldiers. They salute. He salutes back. It's like a whole thing.
And only Kowalski and French Stewart appeared to have survived from this team of soldiers.
That's what it looks like.
And Kossoff leads them in a cheer.
Yay!
O'Neill shakes hands with Skara. That gets him to depart, and Daniel's staying behind.
Right? He's like, I'm not going.
He's gonna get laid.
I'm gonna stay here and get this dick wet not in the Stargate, because then my dick would go back to Earth.
And like, I'm surprised they didn't try to bring any of them back. They came from Earth.
Right? Like they're humans.
They found out the story was that they had been abducted from Earth by Ra.
Well, like if you think about it though, like this is Daniel's absolute favorite time, right? Because he's like a ancient Egypt.
Yeah, and why would you destroy the gate now that Ra is dead?
Right, like you wouldn't have to. Like you could
travel interdimensionally.
Maybe that's what the show is about.
Probably. So
we
maybe
just
they
don't
didn't
know
destroy
anything
the
because
gate.
we didn't watch the fucking show.
But that's the plan.
They could not have, because they made a whole series
there has to
out
still
of it.
be a Stargate.
There's gotta be. There's a Stargate SG-1, Stargate Origin.
Well, because he ends it with "I'll be seeing you around, Dr. Jackson," but like with the way they were supposed to end it, no, you won't. You're about to sever the only way you could ever find him again.
I think he just said, I think he just said that because he's cool. Only in my dreams.
As real as it may seem,
it was only in my dreams.
And that's it. That is Stargate.
He goes back. He stays there. Probably gets laid.
I would assume.
I don't know.
Has little, I guess, teaches them all to read and write and becomes the new leader. You know he's going to.
And like he knows.
The white blonde guy is going to appoint himself their new leader. You know it.
Right. He's going to be God now. Mm-hmm. He's going to get it in his head to be like, oh, actually, I'm better than you.
I can interpret all of this for them. I don't need to let them
know what it
that's
is.
Not really me.
I could just tell them I'm God now.
Mm-hmm.
I know how this tech works.
So the Doom Biz.
Oh, you got to do it now.
Follow us on Instagram, Doom Generation Pod, for all our fabulous movie photo edits. Follow us on X, it's called now. Twitter, Doom Gen Pod.
Ooh, X at Doom Gen Pod?
Yeah. TikTok, Doom Gen Pod, Doom Generation Pod. I don't know. They're all some variation of that.
It's in the tree.
Go to the Instagram link tree.
The tree is there.
We got new stickers. We got holographic stickers. We got stickers
cute.
with our face on them. We got sticker sheets. We got magnets. And we got a Patreon.
Yes.
Patreon.com/Doom Generation for all the merch and other things.
Boner content.
You want to put a promo in our show, you want to shout out, you want to be in one of our movie edits, there's a tier for that. Check it out. And we have one yearbook signing in the form of an Apple review from Walking Dead 85. Proud to be a doomer. John here from Movie Lovers Unite. I've been listening to these ladies ever since the Edward Scissorhands episode, and I am instantly hooked. These women manage to give great commentary while also reviewing movies scene by scene and giving their thoughts through a modern eye. If you love movie reviews that are 100% authentic, I recommend you also be a doomer and give them a listen.
Hey, thanks.
Thanks, John. And I think that is all the business for this week.
All the business is the business. We've come back from the Stargate.
We have returned to
Ra
Earth.
has blown up.
And
Ra, our round the way girl. And now it's time to
go
say
to bed.
Goodbye until next time.
Later,
Doomers.